This meeting is being recorded.
Welcome, welcome, welcome. This is Edna White. I am your host for Keeping It Real on Purpose. And this is the place where we come together with real talk about real issues and struggles in life, relationships, what? All on purpose. We thank you for being here today. And today, our guest is an author by the name of Scott Hartley. Welcome to Keeping It Real on Purpose.
Hey, Edna, glad to be here today. Thanks for having me on.
You're welcome. So how do you, Scott, show up in the world?
So I really try to bring a lot of energy and passion and excitement to the work that I do. So when I'm working with small business owners, getting in conversations about, the challenges and the struggles that they face, and even the wins that they're experiencing, it's like, I could go on for hours. I just love those type of conversations, and just like, what can I do to help them, right?
Right. Yeah, that's excellent. So let's talk about you being an author and this great title, Hit the Inbox. Let's talk about that because I love it. I'm ready for my audience to experience it. So let's go.
Sure. So the book, Hit the Inbox, How to Avoid the Spam Folder and Grow Your Business with Email Marketing, really has come from my own personal experience as a small business owner. And over the past going on 5 years now of working with over 300 small business owners, all of which do email marketing. And I constantly have conversations with people and they're saying, hey, I'm doing emails like I'm doing it like I've been told to do, but I'm just not getting results from it. And so I started diving into that. And the result was this short book that I've just written.
Okay. So Hit the Inbox. Tell us about one of your clients that you kind of helped. We'd love to hear about that because I know the audience can kind of relate to what your experience was with, you said, with your business owners.
Sure. Yeah. So, obviously lots of illustrations to pull from here. Most small business owners, they're already frustrated, stressed out, overwhelmed because they're doing everything themselves, right? So it's like, I've got to get this email out. And so they type it up and they hit send and they think that like, okay, my list has got it. Do your thing, people, come on and take action on it. Well, sadly, a lot of times it's crickets. And so when I'm having conversations with them, we're looking at, the open rates and the click rates and things like that. And recently I was working with the client and, he's got a pretty decent sized list. And what we discovered is that his open rate was really low. And we also measure what's known as an email health score. So it measures a lot of different metrics. And he was in the mid 500s. And it was like, ooh, that's not good at all. And so he was actually hurting himself more every time he sent an email broadcast. So he and I started working together. And over the course of 30 days, two big things changed for him. One, with the things that we did, and I touch upon these in my book, is his email health score jumped up from the mid 500s to 912, like almost doubled, like totally amazing. And his emails within that 30-day period, he was now getting an 85% open rate on his emails.
Nice.
Yeah, which is almost unheard of because most people think, oh, I get a 8% or 10% open rate. Like that's good. Like, no, it's could be way better.
Yeah, way better. Is the content something that is important when you are sending the emails out, or is it something else?
Yeah, no, there's not just one thing. So everybody looks for that magic silver bullet, for any problem that we're experiencing. But content definitely does play a role in getting your emails delivered. So one thing that I can touch upon on that is when you're writing an email and you want to take somebody from the inside of that email to your website, what do you think is the most common phrase that we use when we want them to click a link?
Click the link.
We say click here, right? Yeah.
Click this
here,
link,
click here, right? Those words scream email marketing, marketing message, right? But that's what we default to. And I still do it myself, and I know better, right? So what I have to do, what I encourage people to do, take an extra 30 seconds. How can you reword that link so that it's more conversational, and that for Microsoft, Google, and Yahoo, it's not like, hey, this is a marketing email. This is a marketing email. Right. You can change it, visit the website, download your free report here. It's not too difficult to come up with alternative language, but you just have to take that extra time to do it. Yeah.
I found that out for myself is I didn't like emails because I was getting so many emails and it was just so annoying. And I'm like, oh, now here's one thing that used to get on my nerves. Is it, from your point of view, the length of the email, is that important as well?
Great question. Actually, you've brought up two things that I definitely want to touch on. So let me answer your question first. Okay. So the length of the email. I recommend shorter emails. Okay. So, and the reason is that the majority of emails are read on cell phones. Yeah. Right? So, people don't want to be sitting here scrolling for 27 pages to read an email, right?
No way.
So the shorter the email, the better. And part of the reason for that as well is we are bombarded with emails, right? Nobody wants to live in their email box, even though it's practically a full-time job, just keeping it cleaned out every day,
absolutely.
Right? But if you can get somebody over to your website or to a landing page, people will stay on websites that are interesting and valuable. They'll stay there for 5, 10, 20 minutes. So use your email length just enough to kind of whet their appetite and then get them onto a platform that you own.
Okay. Yeah. Well, what do you say about signature links? What do you say about those? Like in the signature, all this stuff? Because I'm challenged with that now. Is there's so much to say to people, right? You don't want people to miss it. But what do you suggest for the signature line and to make it palatable for your clients?
Sure. So depending on what platform that you use, if you use MailChimp or ActiveCampaign, Keep, different platforms, your signature block sometimes is kind of limited as to what you can do with it. A lot of it is a template type thing. With your email, I really recommend that you just kind of keep it short and simple. You can have a headshot of yourself or your company logo, obviously your name, title, company, that type of thing. The one thing I don't recommend is don't include your social media links in your emails. Yeah. I mean, it's like, whoa, everybody's like, wait a minute, Scott, did you just tell me don't put my Instagram, Facebook, LinkedIn, and YouTube stuff, in the me? Yeah.
What are you telling us?
The reason there's two reasons why I recommend to not do that. Okay. Number one is your emails generally should have one primary purpose, and that's going to be spelled out in the copy of the email, right?
Yes.
If you want somebody to go to a landing page to sign up for a webinar or to purchase something, whatever like that, but then they get down to the bottom of the email and then they see the links, go check out our YouTube channel. Well, if they go check out your YouTube channel and start watching all your videos, do you think they're ever going to get back to the landing page to make the purchase or sign up for the webinar? No, you've just given them a distraction.
Yeah. Gotcha.
So that's like the number one reason. The second reason that most people don't know about is that every once in a while, your social media platforms will end up on what are known as block lists. Okay. If a website is on a block list, at the time that you happen to send out your email, that increases the likelihood that that email is going to go into junk or spam.
Ooh.
So if you have those social media links in there, and of course you're not going to know like, oh, Instagram's on a block list at this moment, you may not get your email delivered to too many people.
Oh, that's very good information. I like that. Yeah. I truly like that.
Now let me give you one use case scenario where it might be appropriate, okay? Because I know people are probably listening to this and saying, Scott, you're just crazy. Like, I'm going to put my social media links in there.
I'm saying that.
But let's say that you have a video that you do want to direct people to your YouTube channel for, right?
Okay.
Maybe you're wanting to grow your subscribers on YouTube or whatever.
Right.
Limited cases, it's okay that if the purpose of your email is to drive traffic to a particular social media channel for a particular purpose, then it's okay to have that as a link in your email, but just don't make it every email. Be thoughtful about it, make it, every 6, 7, 8 emails, something like that.
Right. So we're talking about like, I'm talking about the signature line.
Yeah, in the signature block, that's a definite no. Don't ever include your social media links in your signature.
Okay, beautiful. Got it. Well, I'm already checking something off right now. You got me doing the work. Audience, you should know this. This is great. This is great information.
Yeah. One thing I want to touch upon that you mentioned a while ago. So you mentioned that you were, kind of like overwhelmed by the number of emails and stuff that you get, right? So here's going to be something else that's going to make you and your audience go like, whoa, wait a minute. What's he talking about? You need to send more emails. Okay.
What?
Most small business owners that I talk to, like pulling teeth to get them to send more than one email a month.
Yeah, that's me.
And I'm it's like, if they could get by with sending one email a year, they'd be happy with that, right?
Yeah.
Here's the problem. It's called engagement. So if your contacts are not engaging with your emails, there's less of a chance that they're going to hit the inbox. So let's do a little bit of math here. So if I send you one email every 30 days and you don't open it, what is your engagement rate with my email?
0.
A big fat 0, right?
Yeah, whole 0.
That does not look good to Microsoft, Google, and Yahoo. They're saying they don't want to receive these emails, so we're not going to deliver them, right? So if you only send one email a month and somebody doesn't open it, that's really hurting you. Now, if you send 2 emails a month and you happen to open one and you engage with it, what is your engagement percentage?
1%.
50%. Right? So it's 1 out of 2. So it's 50%, right? If you send 4 emails a month, so 1 every week, and even if you only engage with 1, you still have a 25% engagement rate. 25, 50, and 75 are all better than 0, right? So the more opportunities you give your list to engage with your emails, the better off it is for you and the better chance of your emails hitting the inbox.
Wow, that's great. That is so great. Audience, we're talking about hit the inbox. I love it with Scott Hartley, and he's telling us some great information. Question. So now let's talk about the subject line.
Okay.
Some subject lines I look at them and I'm like, this is going to be boring.
Yeah. Right? Yeah.
So go ahead, talk about the subject line. Subject
line is really important. So let's say that you've got everything all in place and your email actually lands in the inbox. Okay. That's 50% of the battle, but they've got to open it. That's part of that engagement. Engagement matters most when it comes to making sure emails land in the inbox. The only way somebody can engage is if they actually open your email. But if you would, if like you listen to this and you pause the recording of this and you go look at all the email messages in your inbox, you're going to be underwhelmed by the subject line of most of them. You're going to fall asleep, looking at it.
Of course,
you need to make sure that your subject line creates curiosity, but it's not too clickbaity. So think National Enquirer type headlines, but not to that extreme, right? So you want to create some curiosity. So for example, a subject line that you can use is, here's what I discovered. Oh, no, that's kind of interesting. What did Scott discover? I got to open this email.
Right, yeah.
See what it is, right? So,
Right.
if you can kind of be creative about that, and then that's going to get people to open your email, and now they're engaging with it, which looks good, and it helps your health score.
Right. Oh, that's good. Here's what I discovered. I find that people love the word discover, and I use that as a clickable for me. So I like discover what you could do. And then it's like, click it, discover.
Right.
They love it. They love it. Okay, so now that we kind of got the email together, you said something that was important to me. I'm one that only sends the email once a month because I feel I'm overwhelmed from other people who sends it to me 2 or 3 times, a lot, and it's just overwhelmed. And sometimes your mailbox gets completely full from it.
Yeah.
How can we prevent that from happening? Or is that something that hit the inbox that we can do? Can we filter things out like that?
So here's the thing, a lot of people, feel like that they're overwhelming their audience if they communicate too much. But I challenge that, because that type of thinking indicates that you're looking at your list as a number of people instead of individuals on your list. And if you're looking at them as individuals on your list, then your real purpose of sending them emails is to build a relationship with them. And so let's think about real life human relationships, your best friend, your spouse, family members, things like that. Do they complain if you, call them or text them or email them on a regular basis more than once a month?
No.
Of course not, because they want to hear from you. They value what you have to say. They enjoy the conversations that you have. So if you look at your list as individuals to build relationships with, and when you write your emails, you write it as if you're writing towards that one person, they're going to be really receptive of that. And they're not going to mind getting 4 or more emails a month from you, because now you're showing up as a welcome guest and not as an annoying pest, right?
Gotcha. That makes sense. Now, sometimes I get an email that's like, I really want to say it's like long. And I get some boring ones, but there's one email that I really like because he kind of shares, his conversations with one of his clients, and then he shares what his daughter said to him and kind of mixes it up. It makes it like a lot of fun. So I crack up laughing at it a lot. And I thought I wasn't going to like it, but then when I read through it, it was very engaging. Is that something that you would suggest if you're going to make it long, make it engaging?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. And including stories that your readers can relate to, that's going to, make it to where they don't mind if it is a longer, than what you would normally send email. And that's the same with anything. So it doesn't matter if it's your website or a sales page on your website, a letter, an email, as long as it's engaging and it's keeping their attention. People read it. I mean, like I have conversations all the time with people that are doing like sales letters and stuff like that. It's like, no, I can't send a 10-page sales letter. Sure you can. People will read it if it's interesting.
Yeah, if it's interesting. You're right.
Yeah.
Because I get some of even the short ones, if they're not interesting, I don't want to hear it. If they're salesy, I don't want to read it at all. But if it's engaging, like that one email I told you about, I love getting it because I don't know if he's talking to his grandmother or his grandfather or his kid or a chicken. I don't know what, and I got to open it. It's like a story, that's why I have to open it.
And stories people can relate to. So if you can create a story around that, then people are going to be drawn into that, and they're going to be like, oh, I got to consume this content.
Exactly. Love it. Love it. Love it. Love it. Audience, we're still talking to Scott Hartley, I'm sorry, from Hit the Inbox, and I'm loving all the information he's given us. One last question. What would you tell somebody that is struggling so bad with I know you're going to tell them to come see you. I know that.
Right.
But what would you tell, people maybe like me, because I really don't send emails because I'm so distressed about people sending me emails. So what would you tell someone who's having a hard time getting that process started once a week to send out?
Yeah. So when it comes to, creating the content for it, and I have to remind myself to do this as well, because I get so caught up in running my business. But take a step back. What's something that you've experienced during the week? What's a conversation that you've had? What's an aha moment that you've had? And that would benefit the readers of your email list, and then just share that with them. Don't necessarily think that all of the emails that you need to send need to have a buy now mentality about it. You don't want to send every email saying, go buy my stuff, go buy my stuff. People love to get to know who you are and what you stand for and what's going on around you, and they can benefit from that. And so I would say don't stress about it, and just do it, and you'll start to see people are consuming this content and they want to hear from you.
Yeah, I think what my problem is, and I think you just solved it, is I always think an email goes out because I always get them asking for something or click the link or something to that effect, So, and that kind of prohibited me from doing that. So it's like, I don't want to do it. But now you brought something interesting to the table for me to create a story, because I love writing. So that would be, just telling about something I did that day, or that week. Excellent. That's excellent information. Love it. So Scott, tell us how we can find your book, because I see it in the background. So
So what we talked about today just kind of touches on a few things that I cover in my short book. So just to kind of whet your appetite a little bit, because I know we don't have time to go into these things. So in my book, I also talk about you need to ditch the email newsletter.
Ooh. Okay.
So
say it
I
loud.
don't
Say it
want to
loud.
do that here, but you need to ditch the email newsletter, and I tell you what you should send instead. Okay. Something else. I will say that based upon my research, I'm going to say that at least 92% of your listeners listening to this broadcast are driving on the email marketing highway illegally. Okay. Yeah. Driving on the email marketing highway illegally. They may not have gotten pulled over just yet. It will happen. Okay. So I talk about that in my book as well. So the book is called Hit the Inbox. You can go to hittheinboxbook.com. I've got it there on my background. The book itself is only $7 for the digital copy. And I love the questions that you asked today, because they tie into the bonuses that I'm giving when you get the book. The book itself, this book itself is going to help you get more of your emails delivered to the inbox. The first bonus that you get when you purchase the digital copy of the book is 143 attention-grabbing subject lines. So you asked about subject lines. I'm going to give you 143 that have been proven to work, right? That you can model for yourself. Then the second bonus that you get when you purchase the book is my marketing messaging checklist. So it will help you write the copy of your email, making sure that you're including the most important things that will help people to take action once they open your email. So it's kind of like the whole kit for $7. Get your emails to the inbox, get them open, and get people to take action.
Ooh, excellent. No, but what do you get if you buy the? I like the hard copy. I don't like the ebook.
There is the opportunity for you to get the physical copy of the book as well. And for those of you that like listening to books, there's also the audio version as well. So you can get the print, the digital, and the audio version. Consume it however you like.
Okay. You heard it directly from the horse's mouth.
That's right.
Hit the inbox.
Hittheinboxbook.com is the website.
Thank you so much, Scott. Love it, love it, love it. Thank you, Scott, very much. This brings us to the end of the show, and we'll see you next time. Thanks so much.